Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I wanted to jump on here. This is a different video than I am typically doing on a Monday, but I'm on here with one of my great friends, Mike Fromm, and I probably should have had our nameplates on here. Here we go. Look at us. Well, still not working. But I I wanted him to tell a story, and we're going to use this story to hopefully make an impact for all of us this morning. But we want to talk to you about the Verbacco family. And so, Mike, go ahead and tell us their story as we kind of jump into this.
Well, Josh was a friend of mine from high school and even grade school. I went to school with him since I was 2 years old, or not 2 years old, but since second grade. And in 2014, Josh had kidney cancer. He had, I believe, his right kidney removed, and everything was in a good place up until, I believe, last October. And the cancer came back, and then the cancer started spreading and got worse. And unfortunately, October 3rd, we lost Josh. Josh has three beautiful girls. They all play basketball and volleyball. He was in the Darboy community where we're from in Appleton, Wisconsin. Here, he was in charge of the water department, so he was well known by a lot of people as a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And we're just trying to raise some awareness for the kidney cancer and help support the family a little bit.
Yeah, because you were telling me the other day on the phone that you and he had kind of just started talking about, like, once the cancer came back, you had told him, like, hey, we should start videotaping some stuff right now to have right beyond you for the family, and that it wasn't just a couple days later that he passed away.
Correct. When it got bad, I was going there in the mornings from like 6:30 to 7:30 so his wife could take the daughters to school and they wouldn't have to do it. And we started talking about, maybe you should write a story or whatever. And me and my wife went to Barnes and Noble because we didn't want to start from scratch. So we got this book that we were going to start on like Monday.
Yeah.
And it didn't allow us to get that far. But like me and you have talked in the past about storytelling and the impact that video can have on not just your immediate generation, but 2 or 3 or 4 generations
Right
down the road. You can, basically teach your grandkids, your great grandkids, your great great grandkids.
Yeah.
This was me doing what I'm doing now, and video is allowing us to do that these days.
Yeah, because we all have family members that, whether they passed away early or they were just before our time, all we have are the stories of them, about what great uncle so and so was like and what your great grandparents were like, and so now, guys, more than ever, part of the passion that I have for getting people to do video is, with every video we create, whether it's for your business or about leadership or family or whatever, it is a living time capsule that will outlive all of us. And so the question that Mike, we wanted to ask everybody kind of this morning is, like, when was the last time you actually thought about, like, what is your legacy? Because your friend, right, lived his life in the hopes that it would go far beyond where it ended.
Correct. And his one regret was he couldn't spend enough time. And he
Yeah.
told me, like, one of the last couple days, he's like, Mike, I didn't finish the job. My kids are still in school. The only thing I want to do is be there for them,
Yeah.
teach them some things. And that was cut short for him.
Well, and on the flip side, I bet his daughters lived assuming their dad would be here tomorrow. And how much more intentional would we live if we didn't just assume that tomorrow was going to come? Right? It would completely change the way we live our lives. And so we just want to encourage you guys that are watching and will watch this with, what is your legacy? You choosing not to be in front of the camera, you choosing to hide, you are hurting others from the ability to live through you, to live inspired by you, and to remember you far beyond this day. And so, your friend would give anything to be back on this side of the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not how life works. We're not promised that. And so all that is left is for us to live inspired through him, but also for us to rally around this family and provide for them in their greatest time of need. If you guys look at this, the goal is to raise $50,000 for the Verbacco family. We're at 1,700. I have already given to this. You have already given to this, right? We've already had generous people, but we could get to 50,000 incredibly fast.
That's the power of social media.
If we would leverage social the way it's capable of being leveraged. And so I don't do this in my videos. I coach against it. But today I'm going to ask you to please share this. Please consider giving, right? If you can't give, share. If you can give, and then also share, because we can make a huge impact in the lives of these beautiful young girls that are experiencing something that we all hope to avoid. And I think we need to do our part in paying it forward and helping this family. And so, guys, what this comes down to is it is what we would call, Mike, it's the power of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
For many of us, we have gotten so bought into but my story sucks. I'm super boring. Like, my life there's nothing exciting about what my life is. And so who really is going to care? And the reality to me is the right people will. I don't know that my funeral is going to have as many people as the Rock's funeral is going to have, right? But at the end of the day, the people that would show up there would probably also care about my story while I'm still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to encourage all of us to be telling our story. Put yourself out there, love people, encourage people, motivate people, inspire people, because I guarantee you, I'm going to be on Zoom calls today with people that are hurting. You're going to run across people today that are hurting and struggling. And so the best thing that we have to give are the experiences that we've had.
They always say, in some of the coaching groups and stuff like that, what would you tell yourself 10-year prior type of deal?
Yeah.
With video, we can tell our kids 10 years, 15 years, 20, 30 years prior, here are the 10 things I wish I'd known. And it comes from you now. And it's not someone or something saying, I remember when your dad did this, or
Right.
Your dad used to talk about all this storytelling, or, any of that stuff. It's coming from what they'd call the horse's mouth, I guess.
100%. 100%, man. And so the last thing, guys, that I want to just touch on is where do you start? If this is becoming real to you, kind of in this moment, or you've had someone close to you pass away, but before their time, where do you start? I think the first place that we start is giving ourselves permission to tell our story. Stop convincing yourself that no one cares, that you don't matter, and realize that if there's one person that can be on the other side of the impact from your story, that to me, it's worth it. And so just start, whether you're doing it on video, whether you're writing in a journal. One of the things, Mike, that I actually got inspired to do last night, I got to go listen to my dad and my grandpa speak on the same stage together for the first time ever.
Really?
Right. My dad's 65. My grandpa just turned 87 last week. And for the first time ever, they spoke on stage together. And so as I was sitting there front row listening to them talk, one of the things that I just feel like God put on my heart was, Kyle, you're traveling a lot now. And so what if while you traveled, you took 3 notebooks with you where every time you traveled, you journaled prayers for Lana, Harrison, and Everly. And that each time you fill this book up, that then I'll give it to them. And my first thought was, gosh, dang it, why haven't I been doing this the whole time? Right? Like, that's like, what a great idea.
Yep.
But my second thought was, right, like, what's that quote about when is the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago?
Yep.
But when is the next best time? Today.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm pumped for personally for like what I'm going to get to provide to each of my family members as I journaled and prayed about them, right? As I am on all my trips. And so guys, that the place you start is simply taking action somewhere. And so please consider helping the Verbacco family. It would mean so much to Mike and I, and I know so much to them. Mike, any final words?
No, any help to help offset everything that they're going through. If you're from Wisconsin, Appleton, we're doing a benefit this weekend, the 23rd at Tanner's Bar and Grill. It was supposed to be Josh meeting a lot of people he haven't met or seen in a long time. We're going to continue that event. It's going to be between 1 and 4 at Tanner's. There'll be some stuff, but what we're really trying to focus on right now is helping the family out in their time of need.
Yeah. And guys, just look at these 3 girls. I see, Everly when I look at them. You see Veronica when you look at them. These girls did not deserve to have their dad taken away from them when he was. And the beauty of humanity is that in spite all of our differences, that we have the ability to come on common ground and serve and love people, whether we know them or not, because we can put ourselves in their shoes and to some degree feel the pain that they're feeling. And so man, thanks for asking me to help you do this.
Well, thanks for doing this for me. It means a lot to the family and me.
Of course. And thank you guys for watching. We appreciate y'all, and we'll keep y'all updated on the progress. And thank you for considering helping us hit this goal for this family.
Have
a
good
great
day.
Monday, everybody.